Well, well, well. This must be a familiar sight for anyone who has spent any amount of time at the High Wall of Lothric. So, let me see. Dark Hand? Check. Case to Spam? Check. Motherfucking Hornet Ring? Checkaroo. Dragon Slayer Axe? You're damn fucking right. And terrible fucking fashion? Check, check, check a fucking roo. Fortunately, I'm nowhere near this tryhard. So let me introduce you to the world's most mediocre twink. Let me show you his stats and equipment real quick, and I'll run you through my idea and motivation behind this guy. So you see, I am a level 10. I'm using the raw short sword +1, the raw spear +1, which I can two-hand, effective for chase downs. I've got the iron round shield +1, the light crossbow, great for punishing. As you well know, I love me crossbows. And for my fashion, my sweet fashion, I'm rocking the standard helm, deserter armor, leather gauntlets, and chain leggings. I mean, check out that fresh fashion. This guy, he's pretty hot to trot. As for the rings, got prisoner's chain, ring of favour. I haven't got ring of favour +3 yet. I still need to beat the twin princes to get into Dreg Heap, but I'll be doing that soon. Hopefully in the next couple of days. I'm also messing around with the dark stoneplate ring. Obviously, because at this level there's a lot of dark hand spam, and obviously everyone's dark defense is garbage. So I thought I'd give myself a little bit of respite and slap on the dark stoneplate ring. And you can see I'm getting quite a good 28% absorbance with that on. So hopefully that'll help me out with my fights. And I've got Chloranthy in my 4th ring slot, which I'll be swapping out to other rings. Let's have a look at the stats, what little there are. I started off as the deprived class, as you should, if you're doing such a low level twink. I pumped all my stats that I could into Vigour, and obviously the prisoner's chain bumps that up to 24, and you get 15 endurance and 15 vitality out there, and you keep everything at base stat levels. So yeah, let me tell you my motivation behind making this guy. This character is mostly in response to many frequent posts on the Dark Souls 3 subreddit complaining about twinks and how they are overpowered, how people who twink are just griefers, and that, well, I don't mind invaders, I just don't like twinks. Although I agree that you need to use the resources available to give you an edge with regards to multi-class invasions, Dark Hand builds for low level PvP are so fucking overplayed and boring at this point. Yes, the Dark Hand is efficient as shit, and yes, you can dismantle people very quickly, but it's just not creative, and if it's not creative, I don't find it fun to play. That's why I made this guy. His name is Lothric Squire. I wanted to make a low level guy who can stand on his own against the gankers and co-opers, but is also manageable and not OP as shit for newer players. So once I decided on the character name, I made the build around that. The weapons and armour I'm using is stuff found from the High Wall. I have the Estus and rings, yes, but my weapon and armour setup is bargain bin shit. I've been playing this game since release, and I don't mean to brag, but I'm pretty good at PvP at this point, so I don't get an awful lot of satisfaction from going super meta and wiping the floor with everyone with super optimised builds. I like my characters to have personality and a theme, and I hope that gets passed on to the people that I invade. Like, if a new player gets invaded at the High Wall by someone's character called Hitler, Pooper, or something stupid, and he absolutely steamrolls you with his terrible fashion and OP low level build, then that isn't going to be particularly memorable. But if you take the time to craft your character with a bit of care, you can make that invasion victory all the more memorable for both the invader and the host. I will always be an advocate for low level builds. For one, it keeps the PvP and co-op community alive for a game that I love. It keeps it challenging for new players while still being accessible. And to be honest, the biggest reason I like making these low level themed characters is just because I love playing the game, and going through the bosses and areas at lower soul levels is incredibly challenging and very rewarding. In this clip here, if I was an appropriate soul level with an upgraded weapon, I could waltz through Champion Gundyr. But being forced to do it with unupgraded at soul level 10 was very fucking hard. I mean, I was on perhaps my 6th or 7th try before I was able to parry him into oblivion. So yeah, the 5 clips I'm going to show you is from the 5 invasions I had at various points of completion for this build. It's from the 5 cracked red eye orbs that I got from Leonhard. So enjoy. So for this first invasion, this was before I had the Prisoner's Chain and Ring of Favour. I just wanted to take him out for a test drive and see if I got completely mullered. And I come across a host and his phantom friend, and they seem, you know, they don't seem too inexperienced. They're quite aggressive, which is nice, and they know when to dodge appropriately. So just trying to feel them out at this point. The host is a little bit laggy, which was worrying me, but fortunately it doesn't get so bad that it becomes insurmountable. And I see I get another Dark Spirit come along, so obviously these guys are running dried fingers, so I don't know whether they are trying to gank or whether they're trying to cope for the level. But at this point it doesn't really matter. So here comes our Dark Spirit friend. Oh, set up parry. And because I was so used to carrying a dagger in my offhand from my soul level 20 character, I instinctively switch over to the dagger and I pull out a fucking talisman instead, and I have to stand there looking like a lemon whilst he just sort of recovers and rolls away. So that was embarrassing. But for some reason here, because I got the parry on him, now he wants to get one over on me and starts mashing parry. And there's one thing about the short sword. I mean, for all its faults, its shitty range and its mediocre damage, it does have a 110 crit modifier on it, just like the Lothric Knight sword. So backstabs and parries go synergize quite nicely with it. GG. See, Dark Hand Lap. Fuck that guy. So, on to the next invasion. This one doesn't go quite as well for me. It was a good invasion nonetheless, and I wanted to keep all the clips in here just to show you how well I got on. I was keeping heal aid on my build, but at this point, because I've got quite high vigor, the amount heal from heal aid isn't really worth it. So I've kind of taken the talisman off at this point. So we got our prey here, katana wielding kite shield user. So he doesn't seem too overpowered, and I keep hearing something in the background. Ooh, running R1, and this guy, he's not over leveled, so he's not password summoned. He's using the Onyx Blade. Either he's gone further into the game, lower level, to get the Onyx Blade, or it was dropped for him. And fucking Christ, the amount of damage that Onyx Blade was doing when it was buffed, it almost made me want to change my build, because that was such enticing damage. I was like, yeah, fucking, I could do another dart build at soul level 10 using the Onyx Blade. But no, I thought better of it. So I'm trying to drag them through the knights. I want to try and split them up. This phantom is causing me pause for thought, and now he summoned Lion Knight Albert in as well. I mean, I'm not too worried about the NPC phantom, but because he's got such a fucking huge health pool, and he can just get in the way and distract enemies and help stun lock me, I need to stay away from him. And this guy, I've noted that he's a serial R1 poker. Go for the chug bait, parry, nice. I was quite pleased with that one. I always like getting those baited parries in there. But unfortunately, because of all the commotion, I can't finish him off. So they've already dealt with the 2 big knights. So I'm desperately trying to get up here to the red-eyed knight, so he can provide me backup. And oh, fuck, that damage is good. So I get him up here, and obviously they don't seem to care about the red-eyed knight. They think they can take him. And unfortunately, he gets stuck on fighting Lion Knight. Instead of coming to help me with the 2 actual players, he gets stuck fighting Lion Knight, and so he basically becomes useless. And the other 2 guys are able to take him out quite quickly. Yeah, see, the strange thing is I'm not keeping the Horner Ring on this build. But that I know, I get a feeling that if I had Hornet Rig reposted that parry I got, I probably would have killed the host. Whatever, say that be. So I'm out of Estus at this point, and yeah, dead. That was some good damage. GG, sir. And I get a nice bow from the white as well. GG, sir. Right, so for the next clip, I get another co-op group, and these guys aren't quite so aggressive and do quite as much damage as the last two. But the white is password summon, but I don't think he's all that high a level. He doesn't seem to be too overpowered, which makes a nice change. Yeah, gets caught buffing, gets a backstab for it, and like I said, that 110 crit modifier. I mean, you're not going to one-shot anyone with it, but it's a nice to have, given the short sword isn't anything particular to write home about. Well, I mean, saying that, it's basically a smaller version of the Lothric Knight Sword. It has the exact same moveset. It's got the two pokes for the R2s, and again the pokes for the two-handed R2s, which is a nice to have. I'm probably not going to keep the Leer ring on it because I don't do a lot of counter pokes with them. But yeah, all it has different to the Lothric Knight Sword is obviously its range. I'm not sure what the damage is like comparing the two. I'd reckon that the Lothric Knight Sword is probably a lot more powerful, even at base stats. So yeah, of the fucking password summon, and he's still fat rolling. I wish I could talk to these people, like, in a friendly way, and just sort of say, look, you know, you got to keep your burden below 70%, and you get the good rolls. So I see he's not healing, and I'm trying to take him out because him throwing bombs at me is just it's not a particular danger, but it's just frustrating. There we go. Yeah, at this point I haven't put the spear on my build for chase downs. I still had the talisman in my offhand, so doing chase downs and things with the spear will be a hell of a lot easier than using the short sword. Nice parry, crossbow to the face. GG, sir. Sorry about the point down. I'm trying to get away from doing point downs for people. I might take that off my hotbar. So for the next invasion, I get another couple of people, another co-op group. They're down by. They're just about to enter the room with the dragon, where the mimic is. So I try and chase them down. The dragon hasn't even dropped down yet, so this is obviously the first time they've been through this area in this guy's playthrough. And now we end up at a little stalemate at this doorway. Neither of us sort of want to get stuck in the room with each other. So, like, I try and hold the doorway with the PvE. They don't really want to progress and let me chase them, and I don't really want to go in there to pressure them in that small confined space. But I end up rolling down by accident, and I get the white on his own for a little bit. Oh, but here comes Mr. Host, and I think this guy is a serial a closet Caestus spammer, but because he hasn't got the Caestus yet, he likes to go barefisted and to mash that fucking parry button. So watch out for this guy once he gets to the Undead Settlement. So I go back up here to the choke point at the door. Obviously he can mash R1 like a good one, and I think he's using the broadsword, which obviously out damages my short sword. And because of a little bit of latency, he's able to sort of stun me. So I'm thinking about what my plan of action should be. I mean, obviously they haven't got the opposite door open, so I can't just run through there and hide in there in safety with the knights. But again, I don't want to go into this small room with both of them, especially with those wide swinging weapons. Fortunately, the white gets low on health, and I get to chase him down. And it looks like he's out of heals. He's got the aggression on, which probably isn't particularly wise for him. So he gets chased down. So now it's just me and the host. And because this guy's a serial parry spammer, I kind of wanted to get a parry on him, but he's obviously smart enough not to swing twice into my shield. but he's not smart enough to avoid getting backstabbed. Oh, nice parry, sir. Failed to get the wake up there, but I think at this point he hasn't got any heals left. So it's just a matter of chasing him down. I mean, I don't think anything he could do could one-shot me, even if he did get the parry, unless he'd been gifted a hornet ring. So I'm trying to finish him off with the crossbow, but he's smart enough not. He's pretty smart enough not to do it. But I eventually get him. I give him a few whiff parries just to say, well done. Right, now for the final invasion of the session. We get as a good old-fashioned gang spank. It's quite fortunate that this was the last invasion I did. Save the best for last, as always. So I roll up on these guys. At this point, I'm like, okay, one password summon Phantom and the host, and the password summon is doing a full SL10 cosplay, which is, you know, unusual to see, because you always see Phantoms called SL10 and they'll be wearing pieces of his armour, but be using the Dark Sword and Shield of Want or something. But oh look, here comes another password summon Phantom using the Crucifix of the Mad King. You know, the Crucifix of the Mad King that you get like completely at the start of the game. Spoiler alert, I win. But I had a look at the amount of souls they gave me at the end of that, and I think the white was 120 and the gold was 57 or 52, something like around the 50s area. So unfortunately they dealt with the Pus Man already, so I can't use him to my advantage. So I'm they're very aggressive, which is the right thing to do with an invader. I'm desperately backing up to find some PvE backup so I can split them up. And now the host, I'm not sure what I don't know if he's doing like a bow run or anything. He's got the Black Bow of Faris, it looked like. So maybe he's just doing a bow only run, but using his 2 password summon over level Phantoms to protect him. I don't know, if you're going to do a challenge run, fucking do it right. So that room was cleared out, so I desperately come down here. I had no time to swap to the Silver Cat, but thank Christ Fat Guy's here. So I have a little bit of time to catch my breath and to, collect myself. And for some reason, they could quite easily come down here, all 3 of them, just charge down, and they could just swamp me and the Fat Guy. But no, they're a little too timid for that. And you see, because I got the crossbow, I can get a few good shots at him before he sort of wakes up and goes, "Oh wait, yeah, he's shooting me, shit." And we go into a little sort of ranged match. And you see here, the gold has disappeared. And, oh no, not yet, but he disappears, and I think to myself, oh, I wonder where that gold's gone. He does something quite clever. Those 2 are keeping me occupied over here, and they've sent the gold to double bag and to climb down the ladder to try and flank me, which is a very clever thing to do. Unfortunately, I get wise on it because I can't see the gold up there. I'm like, all right, there's only one way he can come down here, which is through the ladder, and they probably haven't got the shortcut unlocked. So I pretend that I'm oblivious to him, and I'll try and get a few cheap shots on the host. I haven't got the exploding bolts yet, but I've got them now. So once I hear the goal that has reached his destination is killing some of the hollows, I go and deal with him. Yeah, nice parry, SL10. remember when SL10 was a parry king? Yes, I remember. I'm trying to get the guard. I tried to get the guard break on him. So now the other 2 are brave now that I'm down here, and obviously now the Fat Man's involved, which is quite good. And this is sort of where their party fucks up, because the 2 password summoned Phantoms concentrate on me. They see me as the actual threat, and the Fat Man is able to do some real damage onto the host. And he gets so much down. He doesn't die to the Winged Knight, but he gets absolutely put through the blender by him, whilst the 2 password summons are focused on me. And I might be a threat, but I'm not the threat to your host at this point. And I think this password summon has spunked all his FP, and he can't spam the weapon art for the Crucifix, which is unfortunate for him. And then he goes to fucking what do you call it? Ariandel's flail, whatever it's called. Like, why? Surely the Crucifix is better, even if you have no FP and it's not dark buffed. See, you see the host is getting taken apart, and then the phantoms haven't noticed. Tasty parry there. That was, I think, more luck than judgment. But I knew he was gonna. When he was spamming R1, you get forward momentum and you walk towards it. So I was able to judge that quite well. And he gets guard broken because he likes to keep his shield up, and that's SL10 dead. Sorry, SL10. At least he wasn't Heiserless this time. And now because I parried his mate, and now he's got like, oh, well, I've got to parry you now. Like, fucking hell, I see this so often. Like, you get a parry on someone, and then all of a sudden, all they want to do is parry you. Like, are they're ashamed or something? You see that the host is firing. He's using the black bow of Faris's weapon art. Like, I don't know, maybe the most pointless weapon art in the game. Like, why? To what end? So I'm trying to get a backstab on this phantom to no avail. And the host, like, if the host had helped out with melee, then maybe they would have been able to get the better of me. But he was, you know, insisting on doing this bow run. And I think the host at this point, he started. Oh no, not yet. The host will eventually bolt when he sees that, yeah, he's gone. When he can see that I'm not dying as quickly as he wants, he goes, presumably to go and summon his phantom again. Now, I haven't been using buffs in all the clips. I only just remembered that I had a fire buff with me, and the bundles and the resins really help supplement your damage at this level. I don't think I should be going into a fight without a bundle, to be honest. You get like an extra 100 points of AR if you use a fire bundle. It's fantastic. I stupidly get guard broken by trying to block the fucking great shield. And the hollow army's here. And he gets fucking poked in the face. GG, sir. And the host of Embers dies off screen, unfortunately. Either to the PvE or committing suicide. So yeah, that's my soul level 10 build. So I say unto you, go forth and prepare yourself a twink with character. Do not be a slave to the meta. Be a slave to creativity instead. GG, everyone.